There are two main types of games that people play. First is the wealth game, and second is the status game. These two games are played in order to be successful. Successful in what? Successful in life overall, in being respected by others, having a lot of access to resources on and all that other stuff. So, I will explain these two types of games. First is the wealth game. Wealth game is a zero sum game where you are just there to obtain wealth. Whereas, as compared to the status game, in that, in order to win, you have to put down others. What does it mean? Let me take you back to the caveman days where we used to live in tribes and villages. During those periods, status mattered a lot as compared to now because status meant you had more access to resources, and when you have more access to resources you have better survivability. I hope that's a word. And when you have better survivability you live, and that's what one of the main, what can we say, motive of species is to survive and to reproduce. And when you have more status you also get more access to reproduction, that is more women if you're a man and more men if you're a woman, or if you're bi, I don't know, trans or whatever. So indirectly status game is played in order to obtain the wealth game, but we are still stuck in those monkey brains. That's why we tend to play the status game unintentionally. Subconsciously we do it. But if you are aware and if you want to change it, you can play the wealth game. And the problem with status game in today's modern world is that getting more status among people isn't going to get you anywhere. Honestly, today it's not as compared to how it was earlier when you used to live in tribes, and when you were in the top hierarchy you had more access to resources. Now there is no such tribes where if you are abandoned from the tribe you will be dead. No, if you, even if you are not if you are loner and don't have any friends or even family members and you are dead poor, dirt poor, you still will survive on government welfare or some shit. But earlier that was not the case. If you didn't had enough status hierarchy in the social ladder you would fall down, and if you are down nobody will respect you, care about you. And if nobody would care about you, why would they keep you in the tribe? That's why status game is no longer useful in this current scenario of the modern world, and you should play the wealth game. And people don't play the wealth game as compared to the status game because wealth game requires hard work, effort and all the other stoic features in order to obtain it. It's a long term game. Status game is easy, you just put down others, and that's what my friend does. He plays the status game a lot. He just wants to appear the better person among the peers, and in order to do that you have two options. One is to become better yourself, or second is to put down others. And the easier one is the second one, just to put down others instead of becoming better themselves. So that's what he does. He puts others down by roasting them, proving himself he is right even though he is not. And then others just have to give up, because if a person with such a large ego, who is going to convince him? And even if you convince him, how is it going to matter, bro? The facts still remain the facts regardless of what the person thinks. Yes, so don't play the status game. Be aware whenever you are playing it, because it, in order to win in the status game you have to put down others, or you have to get above others, which is not something good as compared to the wealth game, which is a zero sum game. Everybody can get rich if you put enough effort. Literally, bro, everybody can get rich, and that is what going to happen in the future soon.